Welcome everyone. One Second Entertainment here. So, I just got something in. Let's build a brand new 3D printer. Okay, so this here is the, don't mind all the junk. I don't have the space in this room to put any of this. It's all going to be going over next door in my house to the new studio area. But anyways, so this is the Anycubic Kobra 2 Max. So it's it's their last generation from Anycubic. Anycubic is I want to say some kind of Chinese brand, but it's getting up there around Creality, Prusa, some stuff like that. They actually make some really high-end printers. But this is their last generation, so the Kobra 2. They're up to the Kobra 3s now. This is their ultra high-end from the Kobra 2. This is their biggest one that they have, which I believe is, I'll put it here on the screen, but I believe it's a 16.5 by 16.5 by 19.7. So the print base is 16.5 by 16.5, width and depth 19.7 high, so vertical. But yeah, let's get right into it. Okay, so I got everything out of the box here, so I'll show you this. Goddamn. Okay, so there's a box, a lot of crap. So here is, let me stand up. So it's a massive print plate. So, from that piece of crap. So, apparently, focus, you fuck! There you go. So, apparently, yeah, it doesn't like me. Apparently, that right there is the tower, the gantry that goes over top of this here. So, here we got the touchscreen, power cable, bag that comes with USB drive. Don't particularly know how much is on it. Whatever. Got hardware kit, tools, extra turn knob for, I believe, that. Got nozzle. This is So this is one of the things that I believe should be a much bigger thing when it comes to these 3D printers. And I've looked through plenty of them. I've looked through Ender 3s, Ender 5s. I've looked through some of the Bamboo Labs. I've looked through Elgu, however you want to pronounce that one. I've looked through a lot more of the Anycubics. 95% of them only give you one fucking tip. Come on! Do better. God damn. Buy another. When you buy a 3D printer, and this is my first 3D printer I've ever bought. I have my little MakerBot. I got that thing for free. But, I seriously believe that they should come with a pack. A variety pack. 3 of one size, 3 of another size, and 3 of another size. It's not that much money. But anyways, when you guys buy a 3D printer, just spend the money, buy a variety pack with it. It'll save you a headache in the long run here. Now, another thing, focus. Okay. So, this is the extruder head right here. Actually fairly decent quality, but that right there, I believe it's called a Bowden tube, if I'm not mistaken. I know the rug's dirty, needs to be vacuumed. Whatever. The Bowden tube needs to be longer on this thing, especially if you're going to be running a filament dryer like I'm going to be. Get a longer Bowden tube. Like, I think honestly they should come with like a roll, and then you could just cut it to size to whatever you want. And then spool holder, I believe. Yeah. And the support rods, which are those. But yeah. So be right back. I'll have this thing taken apart so we can get so I can actually show you the gantry on it. Alright, so I got the gantry off. Show you quick here. That's kind of zoomed in, but this is the gantry right here, okay? So, one of the things I don't particularly like about this is this belt right here is extremely loose. I don't particularly know why. I don't know if there is a way to tension it or something like that. I'll have to look into that. These screws here that move this whole entire thing up and down is it's kind of some kind of grease on it or something like that. But I would highly recommend coming from a family of mechanics. Okay, silicone greases and other types of greases, they really like to attract a lot of dust. So what I would do is I would definitely I would keep a can of like just some kind of like silicone grease, non-spray kind. I would highly recommend the non-spray. And like cleaning those things off like every couple of months, just going through and just running it up and down if you somehow can. I don't know how, going through maybe a little bit of alcohol, wiping them down, re-greasing them, because over time, if you get a lot of buildup of dust and debris and stuff on that, it will start to eat out the screw itself. It'll really start to pit it up, damage it, and then you're going to end up having to replace those. So I would highly, highly recommend making sure that you clean those things and re-grease them every now and then, especially with silicone. Silicone tends to last a lot longer than standard grease, so I would use some kind of like electronic safe silicone grease if possible, just for safety aspects. But yeah, so one thing I've noticed about this thing is it took forever to get that thing off there because of the way that the bolt patterns were, and how many there were to hold it on. The screws are a 3mm. Just putting that out there just so you guys know straight off, so you're not guessing. It's a 3mm. So it's a metric 3mm Torex or standard Allen key, something like that, whatever. But yeah, be right back. Gonna get attached to the frame, and we'll show you. Okay, so I got the tower attached right here. Normally crap in the back. Okay, so one thing I can tell you right now, okay? These are aluminum. Okay? Whatever you do not use an impact on this thing at all. I didn't do it. I knew basically right offhand, but just by looking at it was aluminum. I work in the steel industry. So, if anything, just use like a small electric, small electric screwdriver from like, say, iFixit. Do not use an impact or a drill gun or anything on this thing. You will strip that crap right out. But, so, one thing I did quickly notice. The packet of screws, okay? None of the crap comes labeled. At all. That's one of the complaints I have so far. They labeled this. So, these are the support rods that go from, I want to say, somewhere on this thing, I want to say right here, down to right next to that bolt, right there, that little hole right there. So let's get that on, and we'll keep going. All right, everyone. So I got the whole thing, bars here. Okay. So it basically there's these gigantic screw rods running through this. I believe this is some kind of like carbon fiber or aluminum or something like that. So you're gonna have to adjust these screws until you actually get to the correct height. Then, so these here are 8mm. These are 10mm. So from here, the instruction tells you to bring down, as you saw where it was sitting, to attach this. So using these little guys, okay, so they attach right on here. So this hole, that hole, here, and here. I know it's an angle, but I'm trying to do this on the floor, so I don't have a workstation big enough to actually do this. But let's get that on. Okay, so got the print head on here. So the back plate is actually, believe it or not, so this is how it sits. As you can see, you got your screw there, two screws there, that one screw right there. The back plate is actually steel, believe it or not, that it actually attaches to, which is kind of strange. From here, you're gonna have to grab that little extra knob that I thought was some kind of, yeah, some kind, hold on. So that little knob that I thought was some kind of like extra, it's actually not. It's this right here. So the instructions tell you that hole right there. So it's some kind of tensioner. But put that in there. Okay, so apparently, basically, until this thing, any form of sticking, you just turn this a little bit. I can feel just slight that feels really, really smooth right there. But I figure that's really smooth right there. So you may have differences in yours versus mine. If I'm not mistaken, these are probably the same here. There's some kind of tensioner for this belt, that belt. What I don't understand is, again, why this is so loose and sloppy up here. I may need to play with these and that over there to slightly tilt it just to get that a little bit of a wiggle out of it. But let's move on to the next step. Okay, so the next part I just did off camera, as per usual. But anyways, so the next step said that the screen had to go on. Right down there, this would be the bolt holes. Connect the ribbon cable. The ribbon cable, so the way you have to plug that thing in is it's kind of odd, as you see how I had to bend it. But the pins go on the upside towards the top of the screen. Very important is a one-directional ribbon cable. It cannot be plugged in any other way. I have to make sure of that. On to the next step. Okay, so I moved it around a little bit here, and so I'm over on, if you actually look at this here, so we're working here on this side, the left side of the print head, right down here. Can you see two little bolt holes right there? I know it's obviously black because it's painted black, but whatever. Okay, so this is where I think some oversight on their part happened. Fucking goddamn engineers. Okay. This guy right here. Okay. So you would think that it would mount this side, the side is facing you, see, because of how it's bent, you can kind of see it here. So it's just brake press bent steel. Okay. Now, you would think flat side would go against the gantry. No. The way they have these fucking holes punched, you have to put the bent side, this side right here, against the gantry. Why would you do it that way? Like, that makes logically no sense. I work in the steel industry. I've worked in the steel industry basically my entire life. Okay? That logically makes 0 sense as to why you would make it so the holes put it like that. Me personally, if I could, I'd strip all the paint off this thing, weld those holes shut, re-drill the holes so it fits flat against it. That's me. Still has a warranty. I'm not going to do that. But let's get on there. Okay, guys. So I went through and I basically did the rest of what was needed to do. So this is how it looks here. Okay. So I went through the wiring, did all that. I got the sensor on. I believe that's the jam sensor or some kind of sensor for like that's out of filament. Got the bone tube brand, got the wiring all going through, all the wiring here, got all the wiring here hooked up. Right back down below here for the motor. Both sides, be warned, this here is actually from underneath the chassis. Same thing on that side right there. The back motor, I believe, comes pre-hooked up. I personally hate that little cover, okay? And if it isn't known, I absolutely fucking hate ribbon cables. I've hated ribbon cables ever since my first time screwing with computers. I've always hated ribbon cables. I hate ribbon cables in the PlayStations. I hate the ribbon cables in Xboxes altogether. Ribbon cables, I hate them. They're the stupidest thing I've ever seen. But besides that, one thing I did notice with this thing, focus.
Right here. It already comes with nozzle pre-installed in it.
And, where are you? Right here. Oh, nope. Comes with another one. So, all in, honestly, one of the things about this I really like is its build quality. Yes, it may be aluminum, but this is not does not look like cheap aluminum at all. A lot of this stuff is steel in here. The tracks that it rides on, that is tool steel. Front and bottom, same thing down here. Tool steel, I believe that's either some kind of tool steel or hardened steel. Guide. The plate below the top plate here is, I think, 6063 aluminum. Yeah, like this is not a cheap printer. I may got it on sale, but the build quality of this is worth what this goes for, which I believe is like $700. This is worth every cent that you pay for in the build quality alone. But so this is where I'm gonna end this video. This is going to be the setup video. I do highly suggest, for at least for this particular, like I know some printers you don't really need to follow the instructions. Please, if you're gonna like, I normally do not follow the instructions on anything. Take my word for that one. I hate following instructions. But for the love of everything holy. Okay, I'm not religious, I'm gonna say this. For the love of everything holy, please follow the instructions if you ever buy this printer. This is so damn confusing. It's disgusting. But, yeah. Hope you guys find this either entertaining, whatever, or at least helpful. Like, if this video at least can provide some form of information for someone that wants to buy one of these, that would make my day. But, yeah. Also, I do have a link tree in my bio if you guys ever do want to find other ways to support me. That'd be grateful. Every bit of support I could possibly get, I am wholeheartedly grateful to that. And yeah, well, that's Second Entertainment. Signing off.